your thoughts about women in the workplace?
I think women are equally as competent as men. In fact, I have one of my sisters works for Intel, and she had a career her whole life and then decided maybe she wanted to have kids. She actually had twins at 45 years old. But as far as women in the workplace, I think women deserve every bit of equality as far as pay goes, access to jobs, because they're just as smart as men.
I'm a big proponent for women in the workplace because I personally work, and I started working when I was 16. And as a woman, it makes me feel empowered, and it makes me feel good to be able to bring your own money in and work for yourself. And growing up, my mom started working, and I really looked up to her for that, because a lot of women in our culture, sometimes they're not allowed to work. They choose not to. They choose to stay home because the men don't want them to work. But growing up, I see my mom working, and that really made me happy. So I'm a big proponent for women in the workplace, and I think that they do get a lot of sexual harassment, and they do get a lot of inequality, and I've experienced that myself. So it needs to be changed.
Do you feel certain professions are limited to certain genders? Examples, nurses for women?
One thing that's really interesting is even me as a feminist who went to an all-women's college, when somebody tells me, they went to the doctor, I'm like, oh, what did he say? It's almost like it's expected that the doctor is a male. But I've seen that completely change in reality over the last 40 years since I've been a kid. It seems like there's more women getting into the medical field.
I don't know of a women's national football league. So it seems like that is a gender-specific field. I don't think there is there is a PGA and an LPGA for golf, but there is that distinction that you are either the PGA or LPGA.
Are there different types of expectations from girls and boys educationally?
I think it's subconsciously done that people treat girls differently than boys, but boys do learn differently than girls, and there's many, many studies on that. In the earlier years, girls are a little bit more focused, and as boys get older, then they become more focused. And so because of teaching, teachers will change their method of teaching because of that particular thing, because of the focus issue.
I think so, because girls mature before boys do, and they take the classroom more seriously rather than men.
I think that traditionally boys have been pushed more towards math and sciences, where girls have been pushed more towards liberal arts. And we see a lot of times with the girls, they're emotional and they use their words, so they're really good when it comes to reading and writing. And the boys are very logical and they're thinking, so they're going to be good in science and math.
Do you feel like boys are more privileged and more free when it comes to dating?
Definitely, and it comes from the parents, because fathers raise their sons differently than fathers raise daughters. So I think that girls are kind of raised with the idea of you want to protect them and you want to hide them from a lot of things, but boys, it's like a rite of passage to go out there and have your first date and stuff like that. But what fathers don't realize is that their boys are going out with someone else's daughters, so there's definitely a double standard going on there.
Girls date around a lot. It's like people call them like a slut or like a whore or something. But if a guy dates around a lot, it's just like good job. Okay. Yeah.
Feel like boys are more privileged and free when it comes to dating?
When it comes to dating, no. It's fair. That's how I felt for dating, yeah. Although girls cannot choose who wants to date them. It's just like you're a flower, and whichever butterfly comes closer to you, you're stuck with that. Sometimes you want somebody, but that somebody will not ask you for a date. That's the only thing with girls, although it should be fair enough. Girls should be able to, with the generation now, which is different than before.
What about your generation?
My generation, you just wait whoever comes.
What are your beliefs about dating and marriage? Have those beliefs changed?
Marriage is a sacred thing. You should, although here in America divorce is allowed, but I would sanction that you should stay married with the guy that you got married before, no matter what. It takes two to tango, so there should be some sort of problems in the other person to do not blame the other person, blame yourself too for whatever is lacking in the marriage. The two of you should have to talk it out. Do not go to bed not talking. That's one thing that my husband and I do. No matter what, whether it's his fault or my fault, we would say, okay, let's talk first before going to bed. Because what if one of you had a heart attack without talking to the other person? You would be there grieving that you were not able to clear out everything.
And those beliefs have stayed the same ever since?
They have stayed the same. I've been married to the same guy for 24 years. I met him when I was 18, and we're still together.